friends, Krista here. Thank you for stopping by Books and Jams. Today is the start of a different kind of a reading vlog. Normally on my channel, I tend to stick with weekend reading vlogs. I like the layout of that. I can keep track of all my clips. I really like those, but I'm doing something a little bit different in honor of Christmas in July. Many of you may remember that Sarah from Sarah's Nightstand and Lindsey from Lindsey's Little Library and I, for the past 2 Christmases, have sent each other books. They're actually all on this shelf right here behind me. And we are actually doing a little mini exchange in July for Christmas in July, and we're adding Amanda to the mix. So that video will be coming out, or may have already been out. I'm not sure when this vlog is going to get posted, but Sarah and Lindsey and I sent the list to each of the 2 other people of the books that they have sent me that I haven't yet read. And I said, pick one of those out and I will read it this month in honor of Christmas in July. So I sent my list to Sarah and Lindsey, and Sarah picked The Lost Jewels by Kirsty Manning. I'm really excited about this. It's a historical fiction. This is the book that she picked for me. And then Lindsey picked a nonfiction, The Red Bandana, The Red Bandana by Tom Rinaldi, which takes place during World War II. No, takes place at the World Trade Center terrorist attack. So and about a guy who kind of goes back in and people just remember him wearing this red bandana. This one's going to be emotional. There are pictures in this one. Oof, it's going to be very heartfelt. Actually, both of them might make me cry. So for this vlog, I am going to read these 2 books and share my thoughts with you. And this will be kind of my Christmas in July celebration. I'm not reading a Christmassy themed book this year for the Christmas in July. I'm just going to be reading some of my Christmas book exchange books. So I'm going to start with The Red Bandana, and I will read a little bit and let you know what I think as I read. So I will stop every now and then. I will try to keep my thoughts spoiler free as best as I can. So I'm going to read this one for a little bit, and I will check back in a couple times throughout and let you know my thoughts. All right, I'll talk to you soon. This one is going to be a doozy. I have read only the prologue so far, and already I'm crying. This is going to be a hard one. Whew. Oh boy, here we go. Well, I just thought I would read one chapter of this, and I did. But one chapter was half of the book, 94 pages. This only has 3 chapters in it. And this whole first section was getting to know Wells. The whole book is about Wells Crowther. So the prologue, which had me crying, was about a memorial service that Obama did at the beginning of the new memorial that is there at night at the Twin Towers in New York City. And so that had me just crying already. And then we kind of start the chapter and we go back to when Wells was a young boy. We meet his parents and just get to know who he was and his dreams of becoming a firefighter, and then going to college at Boston University or Boston College, and just a little bit about his life. He ended up working in the South Tower in some financial firm for a long time, but then had wanted to switch to be, he had volunteered in a fire department in Nyack, New York, which is just north of New York City, and then, or like the northern part of the city, and then went to school and did all that other stuff, got a job. But he did his job well and always seemed to like it, but had contacted his dad a couple months before about wanting to apply to become an NYFD, New York Fire Department. So we end chapter 1 right on like September 9th. He had dinner with his parents, and then we flash back to this picture of him as a young kid, ready for anything. He's a remarkable young man, kind, strong, knows what he believes in, knows who he is. not perfect by any means, but yeah, I liked learning about his life. So I'm gonna stop this for now, and whenever I read the next chapter, I'll come back and tell you more about it. This is such a hard look. This is a hard book to vlog about because it has me weeping. Oh, I just finished section 2, which starts out at the beginning of the day of September 11th, and it kind of talks about what Wells's mom is she's doing, what the dad is doing, what his roommate is doing, what Wells is doing, and it kind of walks us through the whole day. Whew. I can't even talk right now. Oh my goodness. So I read part of it the other, 2 nights ago, and then I just finished section 2 right now, and it just ended with sorry. It just ended with the memorial service for him. Oh man, this guy was remarkable, and we had the story of a couple different women in the building and their experience, and then hearing this man's voice telling them to get down the stairs and get out, and he was carrying someone else and helping them out, and he took them down 10 flights, and then he went back up to try to get more people. It's so good, but not good. It's just bringing me back all those memories of watching it on TV and the fear and grief. I mean, grief is grief, whether you know the person or not. So I could relate. Oh, I could relate to it. I need to switch. I need to switch to a different book for a little while, but golly, Lindsey, this book is so good. But it's hard. And I'm legit crying. like real tears are streaming down my face. Not a pretty sight. Oh, okay. I will probably finish this week, though, within the next couple of days. Oh, my word. Oh, sorry. I can't talk about it too much right now. It's good. It's good, but it's sad. All right. I finished The Last Bandana this morning at work, and then I went right online and watched some of the news articles and the ESPN story that they did on Wells Crowther, and had a little cry. And now I've gathered myself together. This was a fantastic book. Thank you so much, Lindsey, for picking this book for me and sending it to me. It's a little tiny biography about Wells Crowther and his life, the attack on the Twin Towers in New York City, and Wells's role in saving people's lives. Just this remarkable young man in his 20s who was selfless, and it just was moving and powerful, and the impact even over a decade later of his legacy. What an amazing legacy to leave. It doesn't reduce the grief that his parents and those who loved him feel. It doesn't reduce the grief at all, but to have such a legacy and have so much meaning be applied to so many others based on his actions, really, in the last hour of his life. His whole life, really, but in that last hour, he knew he was going to die, and he chose to help other people. That's incredible. Incredible. He didn't think about himself and getting out. His body was actually discovered 6 months after the fact, as they were continuing to clean up and go through the rubble and try to find as many people as they could. They found his body in the lobby of the South Tower. He was near the doors, but he was there at the command center for the fire department that was in the building helping to rescue people. That's where his body was found. He could have easily just left, but he was there surrounded by other firefighters who were helping people get out. Like, this was very moving. I cried lots of tears, as you saw. Definitely worth the read, and I'm giving this 5 stars. It was so good. It was so good. And then I did go online and watch the ESPN little documentary, I guess you would call it, about his life. It was about 13 minutes long. I watched Obama's thoughts from a memorial service, a couple minutes long. I watched a big football game that was mentioned in here at Boston College, where they honored his life. Called it the Red Bandana game, and this underdog team, Boston College was the underdog team at the time, and they beat a top 10 seeded team. It was just these little moments that were just so cool when all put together, and seeing how his life touched so many other people's lives. So powerful. But I'm moving on now to the book that Sarah picked for me, and that is The Lost Jewels by Kirsty Manning. Very excited to read this. It's historical fiction in my wheelhouse, and it just says there's like a family secret, legendary treasure, American jewels, and it's like 1912. Irish immigrant. It's going to deal with the suffragist movement as well. I'm just really excited. I don't really know much about the actual story itself, but I'm going to dive in, and I will let you know my thoughts along the way. The point of a prologue is to draw you into the story, right? Well, this one did it very successfully. We're starting out in 1666. The fire's in London. London is burning. This young girl, we don't know how old she is, puts her mother and baby brother on a boat to help them get to safety. And she runs back to their home. We know the father is gone. She's wearing this key around her neck. She slips into his study. There's a secret passageway down into like a cellar and a bump in the dirt that she finds, and she starts digging. I don't know what she's going to find. She says that the coins hastily wrapped in her mom's shawl aren't going to last long. So she mumbles a quick prayer, grabs a shovel, and starts digging. We don't know what she's digging for. There's fires burning all around her. Is she going to get out of this house? Is there like a buried treasure? I don't know, but I'm intrigued. And then we go to present day. We jump all the way to present day. Yikes. I mean, I'm assuming it's jewels. The name of the book is called The Lost Jewels. So I'm pretty sure that it's jewels. But it was a very good prologue. Hi, friends. I'm about 160 pages into The Lost Jewels, and I'm really enjoying it so far. I don't know that I've read any other books that talk about history of jewelry. I don't even know how one would begin to research something like that. It's just so far beyond my realm of knowledge. But I am really enjoying it. In the present day story, we're following Kate, and I think that there's going to be a romance between her and the photographer. There's a little bit of back and forth with them, but not very much. I just have a feeling that there's going to be a romance there. She just every once in a while like sees a different side of him, and she had these preconceived notions about who he was, this California surfer dude. But then he dresses up in a tux, and she's like, oh, I didn't even know he owned a fancy suit. Just little moments where he surprises her. And so I think that is going to continue to develop. But I feel like the story that I'm the most interested in is the 1912 story of Essie, who is Kate's great-grandmother, I think, in London. And very poor family. Is she the oldest? Or second oldest of a family. I think there were 7 kids. 2 of them died in infancy. So there's 5 siblings, and they're very poor. The dad died in the Boer Wars, and the mom is basically an alcoholic, just drinks away her sorrows, just never really recovered from the grief of losing her husband. And so Essie, the oldest daughter, is the great-grandmother of Kate, and she's kind of taking on the responsibility for the rest of the family. And I'm really invested in that storyline. Essie and Gertrude, her sister, who's super smart. And Essie really, really wants to try to keep Gertie in school, but it's not looking like that's going to be a possibility because they need to feed the family. The older brother, Freddie, is working on this group of men. I don't know, they're digging something in Cheapside, in this home in Cheapside, and they find the jewels, and Freddie sneaks some of the jewels away. And so Kate in the present day timeline has to figure out what is the connection between these jewels that she's researching and her family connection to them. So we haven't really got that connection yet. I'm very interested to see what's going to happen, like how Kate is going to figure out the connection between some of these jewels that are like family heirlooms now, and how they're connected to this group of the Cheapside jewels that she is researching. Interspersed with that, we have these stories from the 1600s that are just little snippets of kind of the origination of some of these jewels, and I'm really enjoying those little snippets as well. Overall, I guess what I'm trying to say is that I'm really liking this book, and I'm about halfway, right? 160, and this has like 313. So I'm more than halfway through, or just about halfway through. So yeah, I'm really enjoying it. I should finish in the next day or so, but I just wanted to kind of catch you up on where I'm at right now. Yeah, it's really good. Really good. Holy moly. This just took a turn that I was not expecting. What? How is it going to recover from this? It's in the SE timeline, in the 1912 timeline. Oh my word. I have about 50, 60 pages to go. I'm hoping to finish it tonight. Holy moly. Well, I finished The Lost Jewels right now by Kirsty Manning, and I really enjoyed this. I don't think, it's definitely not a 5-star. The relationship that I knew was going to happen happened, but it didn't feel like there was any chemistry or buildup for it. I mean, I kind of knew it was going to happen, but it wasn't particularly believable. There were a lot of holes of things, but it also was super interesting how it all came together. So there really was a bucket of jewels that was found in a Cheapside basement in 1912. So why and how did those jewels get there? It is unknown. And so Kirsty Manning, this is kind of like her imagining of what happened to those jewels and how did they get there. And so I always enjoy the author's note on a historical fiction. There wasn't too much in the author's note other than it's based on a real bucket of jewels that was found. I really did like Essie's storyline the most, the 1912 storyline. And it was just filled with joy and sorrow, mostly sorrow. But this woman, Essie, was just a remarkable woman, and it's Kate's great grandmother. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I did feel like it was a bit choppy, so I think I'll give it 4 stars. I give everything 4 stars. Is it more like a 3? I think it might be more like a 3. If I did half stars, maybe it would be a 3.5. It was a very enjoyable read. I was invested in it, but it wasn't my favorite. The Red Bandana, so good, by Tom Rinaldi. So this wraps up my little Christmas book exchange reading vlog. Both of these books were really good. I am so thankful to Sarah and Lindsey for sending them to me. I probably am going to keep the Red Bandana on my shelves, and the Lost Jewels will probably go into an unhaul pile, because although I really did like it and I would read more from this author for sure, I don't think I would read this particular book again. So after my July wrap up, when I talk about this book in my final wrap up for the month, I will add this to my unhaul pile. But it was really interesting. So yay, that was fun. Knocking 2 more books off of my Christmas book exchange list. My goal was to read about 10 of them this year, and I have no idea where I'm at. I'll have to do a goal check-in at after the 2nd, 3rd. I did one after 4 months, so after 8 months. So after August. Sometime in September, I'll do a goals check-in and kind of a push to finish up some of those goals by the end of the year. So thanks so much for watching this vlog. Thank you so much to Sarah and Lindsey for sending me awesome books. I still have this shelf here is all my Christmas book exchange books, minus the ones that I just got in Christmas in July. I need to add those to the shelf. So I need to keep working on that shelf. But I got 2 more knocked off. Thanks for watching this vlog. Be sure to check out Sarah and Lindsey's vlog. I picked books for them to read as well this month, and they did the same thing that I just did, a little reading vlog of those 2 books that the other people picked. I will link their channels down below. Be sure to go check them out and see which book I picked for them to read and how they liked it. I would love to hear from you if you've read either of these. I would love to hear from you if you've read either of these books. And other than that, that's it for today. Give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoy reading vlogs of specific books. Let me know that. I don't normally do that. I normally do weekend reading vlogs, but let me know if you enjoyed this kind of reading vlog of specific books, and let's chat down in the comments. You guys know I love talking with you down there. Give this video a big thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I will be talking with you in another video very soon. Bye.